The mainstream media, that venerable institution which serves as a bastion to the inflamed, where journalistic integrity goes to die. Let's get one thing clear from the start. If you're still lapping up the bullshit spewed by the corporate news puppets, you're beyond salvation. But for the few of you with functioning brain cells, let's dissect how the media manipulates your pitiful minds to serve their true master, the almighty military-industrial complex. First off, I don't know why I'm even wasting my time to create this content that you will doubtlessly discard because you're too stupid to grasp even the simplest of concepts. Let's talk about the sensationalist garbage they feed you daily. Every social media headline, every breaking news story, meticulously crafted to instill fear, paranoia, and blind obedience. Remember how they sold you the war in Iraq? Weapons of mass destruction. My ass! It was nothing more than a lucrative business opportunity for defense contractors with you, the imbeciles of the gullible public, cheering them on, barking like trained seals. These so-called journalists, I use that term as loosely as possible, are nothing but well-dressed propagandists. They're not interested in informing you. They're interested in molding your simplistic, intellectually impoverished thoughts, shaping your opinions, and ensuring you stay comfortably numb to the realities of global exploitation and endless warfare. Their bread and butter is your ignorance, your fucking simpletons. And let's not forget their partners in crime, the politicians. Plus those spineless fucks who peddle patriotism while pocketing defense industry bribes. Have you ever wondered why every other politician seems to have a revolving door relationship with defense contractors? It's because they're all part of the same corrupt, insipid cabal. They send your sons and daughters to die in bullshit wars to keep their pockets lined and their power intact. But oh, you don't care, do you? As long as you can binge watch your mind-numbing reality TV and gulp down your cheap beer, why bother questioning the narrative? You're content living in your bubble, blissfully unaware of the strings being pulled behind the scenes. Marisol, bring me more booze. There's an unopened Macallan 25 in the cellar, and refill my ice. You are the docile, the oblivious, the easily led. Cheers to your ignorance, which fuels the very machine that profits from your apathy. The mainstream media loves to pretend they're watchdogs, keeping the powerful in check. In reality, they're lapdogs, trained to fetch and roll over for their corporate masters. The so-called investigative journalism you praise is nothing but a facade, a smokescreen to make you believe they're on your side. They dig just deep enough to maintain the illusion of scrutiny, but never far enough to threaten the status quo. It's not even attempted to be obscured, the endless parade of experts you see on TV, retired generals, defense analysts, former intelligence officers. Hold on. Thank you, Marisol, you're a darling. Get me a Cohiba. These mouthpieces are trotted out to lend credibility to the latest warmongering narrative. They talk about national security and strategic interests, but what they're really pushing is a perpetual state of conflict that benefits their sycophants in the defense industry. The cycle of fear and war keeps the money flowing and the public cowering. You peasant, the hapless, obedient consumer, lap it up without question. You tweet your grandiose outrage, you virtue signal, and you modify your profile picture on Facebook to include a fucking Palestine flag. You vapid incel, for the purpose of supporting the latest cause, but you never stop to think. You never question why every conflict seems to magically align with the financial interests of a select few. It's almost as if you're incapable of critical thought, as if the media has successfully lobotomized you into compliance. Then there's the issue of censorship. Oh, they'll never admit to it openly. Instead, they'll bury dissenting voices under an avalanche of community guidelines and fact-checking. Alternative viewpoints are labeled as fake news, and genuine whistleblowers are smeared as traitors, or that vitriol of being labeled conspiracy theorists. Wake up. They've constructed an echo chamber where only the approved narrative is heard, and anything that challenges it is swiftly silenced. You think you live in a free society? What a fucking joke. You possess the brain of a horse. You exist within a meticulously controlled environment where your thoughts and opinions are shaped by a cabal of media moguls and defense contractors. You subsist on a diet of Rupert Murdoch or Ted Turner's shriveled, flaccid penises. They've perfected the art of psychological manipulation, using fear and misinformation to keep you docile and compliant. And you let them, because that's just what you do. You feebly hand over your autonomy without a fight. You're content to let others think for you, instead of having any sense of moral turpitude to decide anything for yourself. Instead, you coward. You let the media tell you what to believe and who to hate. You intellectual peasant, you're the perfect pawn in their game. Too blind to see the strings pulling you along, and too inept to do anything about it. So, here's a challenge for you, absolute morons. The next time you watch the news, ask yourself, who benefits from the story being told? Follow the money, question the narrative, and most importantly, think for yourself. But you won't do that. You lack any semblance of intestinal fortitude. After all, you're a fucking idiot. Let's not overlook the sheer buffoonery of the so-called public intellectuals who dance like monkey toys with clanging cymbals on these for-profit news programs. Have you ever noticed how they all parrot the same tired talking points as if they're reading from the same script? It's almost as if critical thinking was carefully and precisely surgically removed from their fucking faculties the moment they signed their contracts. They don't challenge the narrative, they reinforce it. They're not thinkers, they're regurgitators. Human echo chambers designed to validate your lazy, uninformed beliefs. And you, the ever-gullible viewer, sit there nodding like a brain-dead puppet, convinced that you're receiving wisdom from on high. It's laughable, really. You actually believe you're informed because you watch a few minutes of news between your reality TV binges. How quaint. You wear your ignorance like a badge of honor, proudly proclaiming your loyalty to a system that exploits your stupidity. Let's get real here, you peasants. You don't want to be informed. You want to be entertained. You want your biases confirmed, your fears stoked, and your mind numbed. The media knows this, and they exploit it mercilessly. They give you the illusion of choice while feeding you the same recycled garbage day after day, and you eat it up, never questioning, never doubting, never thinking. Marisol, refill my ice. So here's a cheers of my exceptional scotch. To you, the proud, the ignorant, the utterly deluded morons who keep the system running. Keep watching, keep believing, keep marching to the beat of the drum they set for you. You're the perfect cog in their machine, and they thank you for your service. Meanwhile, I'll be here, savoring my scotch, enjoying my cigar, and watching the spectacle of your ignorance unfold. You're nothing more than a sheep, mindlessly grazing on the lies fed to you, convinced of your own intellectual prowess. The media puppeteers laugh at your gullibility, while you pat yourself on the back for being informed. It's pitiful, really. So go ahead, keep tuning in, keep swallowing their lies, and keep pretending you're part of an informed populace. The truth is, you're a willing participant in your own manipulation, and you don't even have the brains to realize it. Thinking has never been your fucking strong suit.